When it comes to the tools that I depend on, I always go for quality. And today we're going to take a look at the Copperhead from Up Armored Knives. Up Armored Knives makes really high quality knives. I've done a number of reviews, but I haven't done one this small. And so we're going to take a look at the Copperhead. And man, is this beautiful. Guys, for me, when it comes to survival, the number one tool to have is a good knife. I carry a pocket knife for EDC, and it's great, it's small, but having a fixed blade, full tang knife, there's just no substitute. It's something that can be used for a number of different things. Self-defense is one of them, but having a good sturdy knife that's you can depend on it. There's so many food preparation, you can cut wood, chop wood, you can make yourself a shelter. I mean, there's just so many different tasks that it's just required. But if you're really looking for high quality, this is a beautiful line. Now the FFS, which is the Fight for Survival knife, I did a review on this about 4 years ago. And this is my bug out bag knife. I keep this with me in my car, in my bag at all times. And it's just one of those knives that's kind of that mid-size. It's not too large, but it's large enough to do a lot of different tasks. And the sheath too has a fire steel, has this soft material inside the way that Will makes these. Now, the guy that makes these is Will Welling, and he just retired from law enforcement, but he's been making knives for 20 years. And he does a number of different designs, beautiful, high-quality knives. And then we have the plate knife, which was actually inspired from some Navy SEALs. There's a lot of things and tasks that these are used for, and I did a review on this, and I believe it was about 3 years ago. And I'll have those linked right here so you can click to it if you want to check them out. But today we're going to be taking a look at the Copperhead. And this is it's a smaller knife. It's more handy. It is a little bit, rides low and real close to your side. I really like the design, and of course it's just beautiful work. I mean, you can see the acid stone wash that's on here, and then of course the finish that's on top. It's really stylish. This is one of the most beautiful knives, honestly, guys, that I own. It has the micarta scales, and there's a lot of options that you can get for this knife and for these others. Has a 3.5 inch blade. I think it's actually 3 5/8 inch, and the overall length is 8 inches. The steel is 1095 chrome vanadium. It's been properly heat treated, professionally heat treated. He has his blade sent out to make sure that it's consistent all throughout. That's really one of the most important things, because if you have any weaknesses in the steel, you know, it can break, it can have problems, you can't keep an edge. But with the 1095, you should be able to keep a really good edge on this, and it's fairly easy to sharpen. Now, it's 8 inches in overall length, and the blade is 3 5/8 inch. So again, guys, I mean, this is something you could wear on your belt, and it wouldn't really bring a lot of notice, and yet be comfortable to carry. The blade height here is about 1 inch. The spine is about 1/8 of an inch, and it is, of course, full tang. It's got a nice pommel on it, and the way it kind of flares out just a touch right here, you have your finger guard. You can get a really solid grip on the knife. Now, there's no jimping, but really the way this knife is laid out, I mean, it's very comfortable, has a very nice balance to it. I love the blade shape. It has a hollow grind, and then it has a convex edge to it. I love this raw metal right here. I mean, it just gives it a beautiful look, and that's one of the things that Will always does, is an excellent job on his knives. It does have the laser etched Up Armored Knife logo, which is a skull, and it has just enough belly right here to be able to slice really well. But yet the point comes pretty tight right here to where this could be used for piercing. I mean, really, this knife could be used for a lot of smaller bushcraft type tasks. And yet it still has that really small feel to it, compact size to it. It's one of those knives to me that's kind of the in-between. It's something that I would carry, and when a lot of times a larger knife I might not carry, but really you could get the job done with this knife. The scales are attached with pins all the way through. You have your fingers grooves here. I mean, it holds really well here. Now, if you have really large hands, even then, because of this thickness of the micarta, you're going to be able to get a good solid grip on it. And then even with a reverse grip, it gives you enough to be able to get a hold of that back pommel, and you could really use this and get some leverage behind it. And even so, where you could use it as an impact tool. So it's just to me, this is a beautiful knife that can be used as a utility knife just for everyday task, and yet wouldn't be too bad for a self-defense option. Of course, for me, I do conceal carry, so this is not necessarily my first option, but you know, a knife is definitely something, especially if you get into a bad situation, having something to back it up. This would make a good backup. I'm just going to test this out a little bit, see how it feels in my hand. Definitely just some light work. We're going to do a little feathering, light pressure, really cuts in. Has a good strong tip to it as far as drilling. You don't have to worry about that tip snapping off. Got one of my Exotac fire rods. Thought the color looked pretty good. Get some of this cut off. Oh yeah, good strikes. Using the spine. And really, because of the acid wash, there's not really any discoloration. I like that. Keeps this knife looking good. Might have to combine these two. And guys, I thought about demonstrating it as a chopper, but it's just not a chopper. This is more of a slicer, more of cutting more detailed fine work. So we're going to leave that out. But we've always got to do a little batoning. It's a small knife, but it's definitely capable. Let's try something a little larger. Definitely get some firewood going. Bigger knife would be better. I think we can do it. Of course, food preparation is probably one of the most important tasks. This apple's really soft. Peel's soft. We're getting it pretty good. I mean, a good camp knife, especially for preparing food, is critical. Of course, you know, guys, if I could ever work in grabbing something to eat during a video, I'm gonna do it. Apple's pretty good. The knife weighs 5.8 ounces. With the sheath is 8.2 ounces, so it's not bad at all. Nice, solid, snap-in fit with the Kydex. Will also makes the Kydex holsters, and he always does a great job. Now this one just has the standard Kydex inside, but you can get that kind of a soft finish if you want to order that. And man, this is beautiful. In fact, listen to how this snaps in. It's just a little bit of a, and I love that. It's one of the things about Kydex, a lot of times when you put it in, it has that lock sound to it. But it is very well retained. It does have the loops in the back where you can put this right on your belt and carry it with no problems. Sheath rides close to the body. Locks in real solid. It's a nice sheath. And it also fits this 2-inch bull leather belt from DaltechForce.com. Guys, I'll be honest with you, I had originally not planned to do any kind of demonstration with it just because I thought this knife was beautiful. But one of the things that I always do is if I have a knife, it's to be used. And this one, though, looks just like I got it. So, good stuff. Good work. Now, while Will does keep some of these knives in stock, you can order them exactly the way you want them. Different color scales, different styles. The sheath you can order, again, different ways, especially with that kind of a soft material inside. And so there's a lot of options that he does. Even he does flat grind and, of course, the hollow grind, and then a flat edge, and then a convex edge. Now, this is a custom knife, again, handmade. Everything, attention to detail is excellent. And so these knives run $225 on the uparmored.com website. He does give Sootch viewers a $10 price break, so it's at $215. And here's the thing, guys, for years I carried just marginal knives, and I thought if I spent $60, you know, I'd gone over the top. but I got a $60 knife, something that was it really worth $60 for the things that I needed to do with that knife. And I'll tell you, when you really get a good, solid, high-quality knife that's heat-treated properly, which is made not just on an assembly line, but something that is really good, solid quality, you really get what you pay for. And with all the experience I've had with up-armored knives, they are good to go. So check out up-armored knives for really high-quality handmade knives. Will's been making knives for almost 20 years, former law enforcement, just all-around great guy, and making some of the best knives on the market. So guys, if you're really serious about prepping and survival, check out Survival Dispatch Insider. It is one of the best resources on the web, and I upload one video a week that's exclusive to Survival Dispatch Insider that you're not going to see here on Sensible Prepper. Be strong, be of good courage. God bless America. Long live the Republic. When it comes to the tools that I depend on, I don't mind spending a little extra. And from all the experience I've had with up-armored, me, it is the knife that I carry in my back, in my bug-out bag. You know what they say about an apple a day? Mm-hmm.